Hello kind people of YouTube and welcome back to another video. I have had a very long day today, but that's not gonna stop me from giving you the news and my perspectives on them. But just be warned, today's video is gonna be a bit more headline heavy and I'm gonna, just in general, shorter because, like I said, I've had a very long day. Very long. Anyway, let's start by taking a look at the markets, and we see here, refreshing CoinMarketCap. The markets seem to be in a bit of a recovery, with at worst coins moving sideways or going down about 1%, and at best tokens gaining significantly, with XRP today leading the pack, gaining almost 5% after it had pretty heavy losses for the last couple days. Closing the distance to Ethereum a bit more. Their distance was about 4 to 5 billion the other day, now it's down to about 3 billion again, still significantly more than the roughly 1 billion they were at a couple days ago. The markets in general, more or less sideways, 201 billion market cap. I believe when I made yesterday's video it was also at 201 billion, so no change there. Bitcoin continues to slightly outperform other tokens and now is at 54% market dominance after it was at about 53.4 I believe yesterday. So we're not seeing all that much movement with most tokens, but some are doing particularly well. TRON has had some good news or potential good news coming out that we're going to talk about in a minute. XRP making a bit of a magnificent return in the top tokens here, and Litecoin also has some good news, and that might explain why it's one of the few tokens going up here, and we're also going to be talking about that. Aside from that, mostly not that much movement, everything up or down a couple percent, nothing all too crazy here. So let's jump into the analysis and news for today, shall we? First up, a market analysis, because as you know I like to look at these because I am not a professional analyst, I am not a technical analyst, so let's read this, shall we? All the links of course as always in the description. The Ripple to dollar exchange rate on Friday was the earliest to recover from its latest downtrend move. It surged as much as 19% from yesterday's low at 0.377 fiat, which is higher than other top coins. Ripple, the company that issues XRP tokens, is reportedly heading towards forming a partnership with SWIFT, a global banking protocol. Spain-based Santander, one of the Ripple's partners, has partnered with SWIFT to expand its banking services to Argentina, Poland, Spain and the United Kingdom. Ripple is scheduled to attend SWIFT's CBOS 2018 conference this year, where both the payment protocol organizations could enter an agreement. If you remember, I was talking about this yesterday, and the rumor is that Ripple and SWIFT, so far, Ripple's goal has pretty much been supplanting SWIFT. The rumor now is that SWIFT is going to use its new technology together with Ripple's technology, that the payment layer will be done by SWIFT and the settlement layer by Ripple, possibly with the XRapid protocol which uses the XRP token. And this speculation seems to be what rose the prices a bit. Now, we don't have any concrete proof, any concrete statements of any of this, but there are a lot of smaller things pointing towards it. The biggest of them being, as mentioned here, that Ripple is at the SWIFT event in a couple days. That event is from the 20th to the 23rd, I believe. I might be slightly off with it, but it's around there. So it seems odd that SWIFT would invite Ripple, who would be their competitor, to speak at their own event. So something seems to be brewing in the background here. We should have more information soon. Anyway, back to the article. XRP US dollar meanwhile has formed a new intraday high towards 0.449 fiat and is in pullback action at the time of this writing. The beginning of pullback action has brought the previous intraday low in sight, with 0.402 fiat providing an intermediary support to hold the near-term uptrend. XRP US dollar is now capped by a near-term descending trendline, which also brings potentially profitable long opportunities on a bounce back from the set support. It should not... sorry, I'm trying to rush a bit too much. Like I said, very long day. I promise you guys daily videos, so I'm trying to get it out, so I'm sorry if I'm a bit rushy today. Tomorrow will be all normal again. It should not be forgotten that XRP is still inside a strong bearish bias, and the recent recovery could only be a knee-jerk reaction to the SWIFT fundamental. The pair is still trading below its 50, 100 and 200 hour SMAs, and the RSI is showing signs of an extreme pullback action towards the strong selling area. The stochastic oscillator, I probably mispronounced that, English is my second language, sorry, is also pulling back the pair from its overbought region, signaling a downward trend towards 0.402 fiat. The range we are watching for Bitcoin today has 0.444 fiat acting as interim resistance, this is still about Ripple, and 0.402 as interim support. The pullback from the resistance has already allowed us to speculate a short towards 0.402 fiat. As we exit our position, we will enter a long one towards the resistance on a bounce back from support, while maintaining a stop loss order just marginally below the entry level. In the case of a breakdown action, in which XRP US dollar breaks below the support level, we would enter a short towards 0.378 fiat, our intraday low and primary downside target, while keeping a stop loss order near 0.376 fiat. It would define our risk management perspective. An extended upside action in the meantime is also in the cards if the price closes above 0.444 fiat. If it happens, we will enter a quick long position towards 0.464 fiat, also in hopes of establishing an inverse head and shoulder formation. In this position, a stop loss around 0.424 fiat will protect our risks. Now keep in mind, this advice down here is for day trading. If you're in it for the long one, you don't have to pay attention to this all that much. But if you're trying to get quick profits, this is what CCN is suggesting. But in general, we see here what happened to XRP. I'm probably behind their argument here that this seems to be a pullback caused by the announcement that they're at Swift's event. Well, we knew that they were at the event for a while, but the momentum has been building and more people have been talking about the possibility. A lot of people are absolutely convinced even that they are working with Swift. I'm not quite sure about that yet, but it does look very interesting. It does look like something is going on in the background there. They could just be in talks to potentially do something in the future, but Swift and Ripple getting closer, appearing at each other's event, that is certainly something that could mean a lot in the long-term future. These two companies who should be competitors appearing together, that is not something that just happens. So something is going on in the background. I just think it's too early to claim that we know what is happening here. But I'm open-minded. Let's see what happens here. Anyway, let's get to the news. We've already done the analysis. Gemini is getting Litecoin trading. Now, Gemini, of course, the Winklevoss twins' new exchange, who also have their own stablecoin on there. Let's read this article from Cointelegraph. US-based cryptocurrency exchange Gemini, owned by the Winklevoss twins, has sealed regulatory approval to add Litecoin custody and trading. The news comes from an official Medium blog post published Friday. Gemini's Vice President of Engineering, Eric Reiner, informs Gemini traders that they can begin depositing Litecoin into their exchange accounts as of 9:30 a.m. Saturday, October 13th. Litecoin trading will reportedly go live Tuesday, October 16th at the same time. The coin is said to be the fourth crypto supported on the platform, alongside Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Zcash. Consequently, Litecoin trading pairs will be available against all three cryptos as well as against the US dollar. Now, honestly, that is a bit of an odd selection to have on an exchange, isn't it? Bitcoin and Ethereum are pretty obvious. Zcash and Litecoin, that's a bit weirder. But it's good to see them offer full compatibility, trading pairs against every other crypto as well as against the US dollar. A big issue with most crypto exchanges today is that if you want to trade anything, you usually have to trade into Bitcoin first. And that is one of the main reasons that Bitcoin has significantly higher trading volume than all other tokens taken together, essentially. The reason for that is pretty much any exchange. Anything you want to buy and sell, you almost always have to go through Bitcoin, whether you want to or not. Seeing fiat pairings as well as pairings against other tokens will slowly but surely unlink Bitcoin from the rest of the movements and stop inflating its value. Anyway, back to the article here. Weiner's post underscores Gemini's thorough-going banking compliance and fiduciary obligations under oversight from the New York State Department of Financial Services. It notes that Litecoin trading support comes as the result of close cooperation with the watchdog and that the exchange continues to expand with a security-first approach. Lastly, the post reveals that support for Bitcoin Cash had also been slated for today. However, due to high levels of uncertainty within the Bitcoin Cash community about one or more possible hard forks planned for mid-November, Gemini has decided to delay its support of the asset. Some of the forks currently under discussion lack the replay protection feature that would be required for Gemini to safely support Bitcoin Cash. Because of this situation, we are delaying our launch of Bitcoin Cash deposits, withdrawals and trading until late November, after the forks have passed and we can evaluate the health of the Bitcoin Cash ecosystem. Earlier this month, Gemini announced it had secured insurance coverage for custodied digital assets from lending services firm Aon, which will complement its already available Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation coverage for US dollar deposits. The Winklevoss twins have also recently sealed the approval of the NYDFS to launch their own US dollar-backed stablecoin, the Gemini Dollar, the same day as US trust company Paxos announced its own stablecoin. Shortly after the news, the brothers reportedly started to hire advisors to oversee Gemini's potential expansion to the UK market. As of press time, Gemini is ranked the world's 38th largest crypto exchange by CoinMarketCap, seeing over $34 million in daily traded volumes. So, interesting development here, and this should explain at least a part of Litecoin's movement, breaking out of the mold and gaining in value today. I'll be interested in seeing which more tokens they add over time. I guess Bitcoin Cash is coming soon, once we know for sure what is going on with the hard forks there and have some more certainty. Like I keep saying on this channel, if you're a traditional institutional investor, the number one thing you're always looking for is you are wary of uncertainty, and the Winklevoss twins coming from the traditional finance field, having been in investing for a long time before crypto and having been early adopters of crypto, are very careful with stuff like that. Uncertainty is essentially a death knell. If you don't know where a coin is going, if you don't know how the technology will look in a couple months or years, that is a big warning sign for them, so they're waiting. And that makes perfect sense to me. Anyway, some news about TRON, once again, which also will probably explain the price movement. Let's read this once again from Cointelegraph. Justin Sun, CEO of decentralized internet startup TRON, has hinted at a forthcoming partnership with an unknown firm valued at tens of billions of dollars. The tweet posted on Friday gives little information, stating that finally first time to partner with tens of billions US dollar valuation industry giant, guess the name. And that is pretty much all we have here. The rest is just people speculating which companies it might be. Now this sounds very, very, very exciting. I am a bit wary here because TRON and Justin Sun in particular has overhyped news before. He has this habit of really hyping up news, and usually it is good news, but the way he overhypes it then results in a backlash because people expect too much. And correct me if I'm wrong here. And let me just say again, I am a supporter of TRON and their token. I'm not trying to bash them here, but I'm trying to be honest and fair in my criticisms and in my assessments. I believe when they say partner, sometimes they just mean that a company accepts their token as payment, which in my opinion isn't really a partnership if you're just a payment method there. A partnership is working with the company in some deeper way. So let's see who they're working with and what they're actually announcing. Now, any large company with a tens of billion US dollar valuation, even just accepting their token is very good news, but I do want to know details before I personally get excited about this. And the last piece of news for today, like I said, is going to be a shorter episode. Another token that did very well today, and another reason. It's nice when we have clear reasons for why stuff is happening. Coinbase Bounce Ethereum token 0x rallies 17% after crypto exchange listing. And this is an analysis article, so we don't have to read the whole thing here, but let's just read the first couple paragraphs so we know what's going on here. Coinbase may have announced plans to list hundreds of new assets over the coming months and years, but that doesn't mean that the San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange has lost its status as crypto token kingmaker. Yesterday, on October 11th, Coinbase announced that it had begun the process of listing 0x, an ERC20 token that runs on Ethereum, on its professional order book exchange Coinbase Pro. At present, traders can make the deposits, though the order books had not yet opened for trading as of the time of writing. In the meantime, the 0x token price has been surging. The token's trading volume spiked from trading value, not trading volume, spiked from about 64.8 cents to a high of just under 92 cents in the minutes following the announcement. Though it has since settled down from that intraday peak, 0x continues to trade near 77 cents, representing a 24-hour gain of about 17%. That is far above the 0.5% increase seen by the cryptocurrency market as a whole. So 0x a big performer today because it was a coin listed on Coinbase. Now Coinbase has announced that they're opening up significantly and will accept a lot of new tokens in the future, and this is the first new token they're adding since announcing that. Now I believe it is unclear right now if 0x was already planned for inclusion before or if this is the first result of their new policy, but it's definitely sure to bring a lot of interest to this token, and I think we're going to see it trading at higher volumes definitely, and probably at a higher value than it has for a while, at least for the coming days and maybe weeks. But yeah, but Coinbase, you don't really notice it in day-to-day stuff, but Coinbase, while they are still absolutely huge, have lost market share, and they are trying to reclaim that, and one of the ways they are doing that is by trying to list more tokens. And it's definitely a good strategy. Let's see how this will work out for them. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end today's video. And as always, thank you everyone so much for watching. If you want to get these videos every day, sorry today's video was so rushed, usually they're about twice this long, make sure to subscribe. I do put them out every single day. If you like these videos and would like to support the channel, in the description there are ways to donate, as well as a link to my Patreon and links to my social media accounts and all the links to the articles. And talking about the Patreon, which I just started 2 days ago, I just got my second Patreon supporter yesterday, and I want to take a minute just to thank Steve here personally. Steve, my second Patreon supporter, who is on Twitter as SteveXRP, if you want to follow the guy there. We have had a really nice little conversation since he became a Patreon supporter, and I'm super thankful to him. He seems to be a pretty great guy, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. Like I said before, the channel is currently not monetized. The only way I am earning any money from doing this YouTube channel is through donations or through this Patreon. So thanks a lot, Steve. It's really appreciated. And thanks anyone who just watches my videos, even if you don't want to support me financially. It's all really appreciated. And with that, I'm just going to end today's video. As always, thanks for watching. And tomorrow I'm going to be back with a longer video. And hopefully I'm not going to be stumbling over my words quite as much. See you guys then.